It's important that when we're leading people to Jesus, we are explaining who Jesus is. We are telling people what Jesus came and did for us, the sacrifice that he paid for us. I noticed that sometimes when we want to evangelize, or when we're speaking to people about Jesus, the first thing a lot of us may do is, oh, come to my church. And while this is not a bad thing, because of course the Bible does say that we should not forsake the gathering of brethren, however, some people as new believers may come into the church and they may be analyzing a lot of things in the church, observing a lot of things in the church, and this may be what they consider to be Christ. And the reason why this sometimes is not good is because if in the church there's a lot of things that are not in order, and let's say for example the pastor is not a true man of God, they may see this as a representation of Christ. So we have to be careful when it comes to evangelizing and when it comes to preaching the gospel. We must make sure that we are actually introducing people to Jesus and showing, who Jesus is in the scriptures and the ministry of Jesus, not just come to my church. Because in the church there has been a lot of people that have been hurt in the church, and some people say that because of this hurt they're no longer Christians, they're no longer going back to church, and that is it. So it's important when you are preaching to people, when you are evangelizing, invite them to Jesus. Tell them to read the scriptures first. Yes, you can invite them to your church, but let them understand that what they are seeing in the church is everyone is still learning. Even the pastor is still going to go through things. But who they need to be in contact with, who they need to be connected to 24/7 is Jesus Christ, not the pastor. That is where true growth happens. That is where you are solidified, when you are connected to Jesus, not the pastor or even the people. We are called to love people, and even in loving people, we learn this from Jesus Christ. Can you see what I'm saying? So we've got to teach people about Jesus. When we are evangelizing to people, yes, invite them to your church. That is great. But still tell the person, listen, I've invited you to my church. I'm so happy that you love the church. But remember to read your words. Remember to pray. Remember to have your secret time with the Father. Remember to talk to God. Remember to worship. Remember to pray. Create a godly atmosphere. That is how we disciple when it comes to people, when we evangelize to them. We're not calling people onto ourselves. We're not calling people even onto the pastor. We are calling people onto Jesus Christ.